Hello again everyone, I hope you're all doing very well. Today I'm going to revisit a stock that I had a look at last week, that being Exela Technologies, ticker symbol XELA or XELA as I will call it throughout the video. Again, Exela has bucked the meme stock trend of declining in yesterday's trade. Today I want to have a look at the news that has prompted the latest boost in trading and discuss whether or not I think this price movement will continue. As I said last week, I have not been accruing Exela stock, but I have been targeting it for day trading and have yet to be disappointed. This has still been my approach towards the stock. I'm curious about this stock, which is why I've been making videos with information such as this. Would like to again stress that what I'm saying here is not investing advice. Anyway, let's get into it. So just having a look at the last 5 days trade with a 5-minute candlestick chart, we can see that there was a decline from last week's highs on Friday. So here's the trade going down during Friday's trade. Remember, my chart is from the future because I live in Australia. Anyway, as we can see, there is this sharp bounce back that came in yesterday's trade, and this was prompted by a news release from the company yesterday, which we will discuss in this video. Also, while we're here, it's worth looking at the RSI, this little line down the bottom, and we can see in yesterday's trade there were 3 fleeting occasions in trade where the RSI went into a point where the stock was deemed as being oversold and corrected itself. Interestingly, when it did recorrect to more stable buying and selling patterns, the price in the stock still did continue to move upwards, which is quite interesting and is a reflection of the positive sentiment towards the stock in yesterday's trade. Looking at the volume of trade over the last week, what is interesting is that there actually was not as much volume yesterday as the stock saw last week. So here is yesterday's trade here, and we can see that for the rest of the week before, other than on the Monday, there was a lot more interest in the stock in terms of trade. So it had a much higher trading volume, except for this little patch down here. So while the volume wasn't as strong yesterday, it is still quite strong, and that's a promising sign, as it means interest remains strong in the share and may mean we may see a continuation of the positive momentum of the stock price coming into our next trading session. Just to further the point of the positive momentum very quickly, we can see that XELA did continue its positive move upwards in the after hours session over here, adding an impressive 34 more cents to its closing price, which is approximately another 10% on top of an already impressive 20% for the day. Clearly there is definitely some positive momentum here with the stock. So to me there seem to be 3 catalysts driving this positive momentum for Exela Technologies, 2 of which I have previously looked at to some degree in my last video on the stock. Those being the short interest, and while not talking about too much length, the cash Exela currently holds from their recent capital raising. However, to start with, I'm going to look at Exela Technologies' announcement yesterday regarding its AI-enabled automation offering that is the latest catalyst driving the stock price higher. I am just going to quickly read this article from Yahoo Finance, which I will link in the description for this video. So Exela Technologies, a global business process automation leader, or BPA for short, today expands its offering in AI-enabled automation in the BPA space with intelligent document processing combined with its robotic process automation platform, EON. This industry-leading automation solution is deployed in the healthcare and public sector and further cements Exela as one of the leaders in the industry. IDP enables the automation of document classification, data extraction, and data routing into a cloud or on-premise hosted service portal that provides a containerized, dynamically scaling solution that can be accessed from anywhere on demand. Using the IDP, Exela has begun leveraging an extensive and growing library of machine learning based classifiers that significantly augment the automation of document processing in the healthcare and public sector, and has plans to ramp up projects in the finance and legal sectors soon. The IDP solution includes a modernized data entry solution that delivers rule-based character-level data correction capabilities that dramatically reduce the keystrokes needed to meet customer service level targets. The IDP manual entry solution enables Exela to leverage manual entry operators working from anywhere while preserving data security using a proprietary snippet routing engine. In addition, EON can automate simple or complex workflows to achieve efficiency and accuracy gains, as well as free up human capital for higher value uses. EON provides automation for both attended and unattended automation deployments. Exela continues to iterate and advance solutions to meet our customers' changing needs, said Suresh Yanamani, Exela's president. The latest IDP and Eon combination embraces the evolving work from anywhere environment that customers and their employees are embracing. While this is great news for Exela, there have been no announcements on what kind of boost to their income this offering is likely to bring. However, given the scalable nature of this solution, if delivered well, it could be a future source of positive growth for the company. But we just don't know yet. To me, however, while this is exciting, I would like to know more about how they expect it to impact revenues going forward, and would like to also see how many of its clients look to use this new solution. Don't get me wrong, it sounds like great news. I just want to know more about it. In my previous look at XELA, which I will link in the description, we did dive into some of the financial statements of the company, and they did not look that strong due to the large outstanding liabilities. However, one of the things that may be exciting fans of Exela Technologies stock is that the recent capital raising they undertook has meant the company is currently holding about $205 million in cash at the moment. So given the current market capitalization of $206 million, buying stock in Exela right now may feel to investors like they are basically exchanging their cash for the gross cash position of Exela Technologies. However, it is worth highlighting again that while Exela is planning on using that money to help fund further growth, perhaps such as through this robotic initiative that they announced yesterday, there were plans of using a big part of that cash from the capital raising to pay down liabilities and minimize the heavy ongoing impact the company has been experiencing due to being over leveraged, i.e. paying the interest on their loans, which has only been magnified in recent years by the slowdown in revenues the company has been experiencing, which started before the pandemic, which only further exacerbated the problems that they already had. Now, I'm not going to talk about the short interest too much in this video, as it was a larger focus in my last video on Exela Technologies, but it is very likely that there is a lot of attention still being given to the stock because of its potential for a short squeeze, and yesterday's announcement would have only further pushed on those retail investors who are in this stock for that play. I did look at some of the stats previously, but just to highlight, the Exela Technologies shorts borrow rate is not high for a short-term borrow rate, at least compared to some of the other potential short squeezes which I've looked at. For instance, Exela's current 22.4% per annum borrow fee pales in comparison to Marin Software, which last week was as high as 220%. It is worth pointing out, however, that Marin Software's borrow rate has likely come down as the price has been on a bit of a decline recently. Borrow rate aside, if the prices can continue upwards and not recede in any great amount, we may see some of the short sellers begin to cash out on Exela and see a little bit of a juicy short squeeze start to take place. So currently, these are my final thoughts on Exela. Currently, there is a trifecta of tailwinds: technology release, short squeeze interest, and strong cash position driving the stock price. To me, the stock is likely to continue in an upward momentum, at least in the short term. I think it's also worth highlighting that Exela still needs to prove itself financially, and this is highlighted by the weak balance sheet that it has. We're yet to see how the new AI development is going to impact revenues, and they are still a company that is over leveraged. For me, I'm still waiting for a new set of financial data to come out to determine whether I will keep trading the stock on a day trade basis for now, or whether I will start accruing the stock longer term. However, all this aside, it is worth highlighting that Exela Technologies does seem to be on the verge of a real green patch following the recent capital raising and this new technology release. There are a lot of positives in the mix for Exela. I think that Marin Software, another tech company I have looked at recently that has a significant short interest, is actually in a better position financially. However, at this stage, the growth prospects for Exela are still a little bit mysterious, but the signs are pointing in the right direction. So my conclusion, I think I will continue to at least day trade the stock, but I'm yet to make a decision on whether I want to accrue it in my portfolio. I think a lot of recent momentum from retail investors can be attributed to the treadmill pattern that I'm at least seeing with many meme stocks lately, which is perhaps why there are so many of them at the moment. Anyway, I think there is still some positive momentum for the stock in the short term, but I do believe it is currently overvalued and will eventually have to correct unless we see some positive news with significant financial bearings come out. Thanks again for watching, everyone. I hope you found this video useful and entertaining. If so, I would encourage you to show some support by hitting the like button. Also, if you would like to hear further stock updates from me, I would encourage you to subscribe to the channel, as I am trying to release a new stock related video pretty much every day. I've really appreciated all the support many of you have shown me to date. Anyway, may the markets trade in your favor. See you later. Take care.